Welcome back to one more session. Today in this video I am going to explain about a legal problem with respect to a public international. Once if you go through the question, that is, if state Y asks state X to extradite a criminal, but they don't have any extradition treaty, is state X obligated under international law? Explain with reason. This is the question. For this question, answer is, so already we know that whenever we are solving a legal problem with respect to an exam point of view, we'll follow the IRAC method: issue, rule, analysis, and conclusion. So based on that, in this particular problem, the issue is whether a state has legal obligation under customary international law to extradite an individual to another state in the absence of extradition treaty. Rule: the general rule of customary international law is that there is no duty to extradite criminals. A state's authority over all individuals within its territory is a core principle of sovereignty. But there is some exception to this rule, that is ad hoc arrangement based on reciprocity. In the absence of a treaty, states may enter into one-time or ad hoc arrangement for specific cases often based on promise of reciprocity for future requests. This is one of the exception to the general rule. And another one is multilateral conventions. Many multilateral treaties for specific types of crimes, example terrorism, corruption, include an extradite or prosecute provision. If both states are parties to such a convention, it may serve as a legal basis for extradition for those particular offences, even without separate bilateral treaty. This is another one more exception to the general rule. The last one, a domestic law. A state's domestic laws may allow for extradition even without a treaty. However, any such extradition would still be a matter of discretion, not international obligation. So analysis to this particular problem: state-wise request does not create an international legal obligation for state X because they don't have an extradition treaty. Conclusion is, no, state X is not obligated under international law to extradite the criminal to state Y. Already in the rule, just before we discussed that exceptions, when that exceptions can be observed. For example, there is a case law in 1890, a Swiss citizen named Angelo Castino participated in political uprising in Switzerland, during which he shot and killed a state official. He fled to England, where the Swiss government requested his extradition. The English court denied the extradition request. So under general rule, there is no obligation. That's the reason that English government, the English court denied. But whereas another case, that is Abu Salim Abdul Qawam Ansari versus State of Maharashtra. In this case, if you go through the facts, a gangster Abu Salim was a key accused in the 1993 Bombay bomb blast, who fled to Portugal. India sought his extradition from Portugal in 2005, despite lacking of a bilateral extradition treaty at that time. India relied on international law and principle, specifically the International Convention for Suppression of Terrorist Bombings, to which both India and Portugal were signatories. Portugal Supreme Court ruled that Salem could be extradited based on ad hoc arrangement, assurance of reciprocity. So in this particular case, by using that exceptions, the accused came into the India. Thank you.